when you think about, again, the real estate market and the kind of flow of money fundamentally, which is, what drives it all.
Yeah.
The money's coming in, and increasingly those asset owners or asset allocation, management firms are looking at ESG more at a kind of principles basis and looking heavily at the G. So, how are you governed? How are you managing your business? And that has started to flow a kind of focus. And, certainly when I was heading up sustainability for Nuvi, GRESB, which is a core kind of part of that
Yes.
reporting component in order to satisfy effectively your investors. That kind of inevitably then starts to focus the attention of then you and the supply chain. Now, whether that's the right data is a separate question, but it absolutely focuses the mind to say, well, okay, my investor now wants this, and that's how I'm going to attract money. I therefore need to do this, right? What do I need from my supply chain, and then what do they need from their supply chain? And ultimately, it's against data. It's just how do we get that flow of data moving through the value chain. I think not necessarily what's changed, but I think what's evolved, and I think what we're seeing now is the recognition, the recognition of the market driver of ESG, and particularly the E. And I'm probably talking about mature markets here, where the tenants, big corporates, are now looking at the E, particularly when taking new space or looking at new buildings, and therefore asset managers, property managers, and everyone involved in bringing those buildings to bear have to have their finger on the pulse as to, or how environmentally friendly is this building.
Yeah.
And actually, and I know we've had EPCs and BREEAM for a while. We recently had the introduction of Neighbours, which is the Australian scheme, into the UK. Thankfully, finally, where it's actually in-use performance. So it gives people who are making tactical decisions rather than strategic decisions, per my point before, greater visibility, but then also greater need to make sure that what they're delivering ultimately is hitting the mark. So